A lot of people know my opinion on unisex sports, so I'm not going to bore anybody with that. I believe that all sports, I think it's segregation, to be honest. I think
Yeah,
that
no.
people are very used to segregation of skin color and they get upset about it. They go, don't segregate sports based on pigment. But for some reason, when it comes to women, it's okay. Like, it's okay. Yeah, we got a women's league. We got a, that's like totally okay. But I'm in the minority with that. There's a lot of women who are like, no, like, how are we going to, how are we
Yeah.
going to make money, or how we like, if we could join leagues, blah, blah, blah. So that's why I'm going to ask Nay. Nay, how do you feel about if we started today, or even back in time, like if we were just like we reversed course and we were like, and we said sports, we all participate. Why are no male, female? I don't know who started that, but like we just were like unisex sports. Would you agree with that? Okay, good.
Fuck no. And I
Thank
say
you.
that because it wouldn't be fair. Like literally speaking and looking at just the physical makeup of men versus women, it's not the same. I don't care how hard a woman trains, how much she eats right, and whatever the case may be, her body will not genetically look or match up with a male uh teammate. Like it wouldn't be fair. I think that is the whole reason why there is a male and a female league of all different things. Not to say that we're not capable as women, but it's not the same. Like I just don't think it would be fair. I mean, maybe if it was like men and women on this team and then men and women on this team, so now you've got like a balance thing going on. But I just feel like women should compete against women because the of just a physical thing, not even like I don't even know where else to go with that other than like when we look at now how they have we just talked about we weren't going to do this, but I'm going to touch it just a little bit. The transgender folks that are moving into sports and competing, trans women being able to compete with natural born women or whatever. I don't know what the politically correct term to use is, and I don't, whatever, but it's not the same, and even when they are
It's cis born women, and if you're saying that you only believe that women that are born as women, it's called turf. That's what J.K. Rowling is. Not to say that you should be labeled as her, but
okay.
Yeah,
So
turf is hold on one second. No, turf is a nonsensical term. Just because you have thought processes, you shouldn't be labeled as like against a group just because you have opinions that aren't of the group's
well,
leadership.
that's what I'm saying. There's not, I guess, lack of a better term. There is no like
Yeah,
other term to like question that. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that she
yeah.
is that. I said that's why she's not labeled that. But like right now,
Turf
the
is
term for that
derogatory.
is turf. It means that you only believe that there is two
Yeah.
sexes. And I'm not saying that you are saying that. I'm just saying that
right.
that's the thought.
Yeah, no, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that when you are trans, you still are not like born how I was born. So it's different, period. And
Period.
so, like, I just don't think that that is fair when it comes to sports. So I think I personally, if they were like, oh, let's just mix everybody all together, if there was a way to make sure that it was like balanced, then okay, cool. But I feel like having it separated makes a lot of sense just because physically we're not the same.
Oh, go
And
ahead.
I just want to
You go
say
for it.
I don't need to say anything because Nay just said everything I would have said. And I was waiting for her to mention the trans issue in relation to this because that is proof of that. You know, when a woman is a swimmer who is like 100 something in the country, and then all of a sudden she's swimming laps, you know what I mean, and winning. I don't. I know she's not like the #1 national champion, but she won a championship and never won one as a man. That's proof in the pudding that there should be
And it was
separation.
never mentioned until she did that. That's how much it doesn't happen. So that's why it's so weird that like they focused on that because they don't win at an amazing rate. They don't win more than like other women athletes. That's why it's like a big misnomer when people use her, Leah Thomas. That's who you're talking about. She was a Ian Forrester. Oh, what's up, Ian Forrester? Thanks
That's
for
my man Ian. Yeah, good brother.
what's up, Ian. We love live listeners. Thank you. Yeah, not to say that you're wrong, but like I feel like that's misinformation. Not from you. That's everywhere. And it was, again, that was on not this podcast, and it sucks. Sorry, Brittney, that like we're talking about I guess a person from the community, and we all of a sudden go to trans. But I guess that's where it went with unisex sports. My
Yes.
thing, and not that we need to end on my thought. We're not going to end on my thought, but this is my last thought on
Yeah.
this. I don't want to make
We
this
need it to be the last thought because we need to move on
all
unless we're
good.
doing
You're right.
a 3-hour podcast.
But how are you ever going to get there if so 10,000 years of just letting men, first of all, just play sports alone and not have any women in there until Title IX. That only happened 50 years ago. We just celebrated the anniversary of that. So we had to force sports to let women in. So that's only 50 years of participation. So are you really that shocked? And I know none of us are scientists or physicists, but are you really that shocked that women are not physically capable at the moment when you just held them back for 10,000 straight years? Like, we'll never know if they were able to participate from the dawn of time of what they could have been capable. And then on top of that, I'm not saying average people, yeah, but on top of that, average people do that. There are people who play co-ed kickball, co-ed soccer, co-ed volleyball, albeit a lot of it is recreational, but they still do it. So if I'm talking about the top athletes, I'm talking about like literally the top of the WNBA. Those are the ones that would compete with the top of the NBA. For me, you guys, you're probably convinced, but for me, I think Lisa Leslie can go down with, well, prime Lisa Leslie. I don't think she'll beat LeBron, but I don't think she's going to get like hurt. I don't think that like if LeBron, like I think she's been training all her life too. And I think if she's definitely going down dirty with some really in the WNBA, they have 300-pound women, they have 7-footers and stuff like that. She didn't get hurt. She didn't break anything. So I think that's, and I agree with you though, testosterone and estrogen, yes, women have firmer bones, all that kind of stuff. But also we've also evolved. We used to be we used to be on all fours. So I think women, if you put them in sports long enough, that's my point. I feel like they can evolve. I feel like at one point in 100 years from now, we're not gonna be able to see it. But like you just said, they weren't even dunking in games before. They weren't allowed to, Cliff. And it took years for them, once they were allowed to.
No.
Their
Most weren't
physicality
capable.
brought them there.
Most weren't capable. We have to be honest about it. Most women were not capable of dunking. That's a fact.
But again,
Because they were allowed in college. Vin, they were allowed in college and they didn't dunk in college often because
but
they
that's
weren't
50 years as opposed to 10,000 years.
No, I get the point. Your point could be a valid point. Like if you give more opportunities for women to compete with men over generations, there might be more women that could compete with men.